So we're here at KetoCon 2022, and we are about to find out how much fat mass and how much muscle mass we have.
Basically, I have to weigh publicly. Hey, what's up, family? I'm Rachel.
And I'm Joe.
And we are Two Crazy Ketos.
And if you're new to our channel, welcome. Here on Two Crazy Ketos, we do different things like recipe videos and we do product reviews. We talk about various keto topics, and every Monday we go live on Keto on the Couch. We just kind of talk about what's going on in our lives for the week.
You can find us in different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And we have a website, which is twocrazyketos.com, and that's where you're going to find all of our different recipes. Now we do upload at least 5 new videos every single week, so make sure you subscribe to our channel.
And don't forget to hit the little bell icon, and that way every single time I have to weigh in public, you'll be alerted to it.
I found a good way to work out my muscles in my arm because this camera
super heavy.
Is super heavy when you add it on top of a gimbal. So we're here at KetoCon 2022, and this is really cool because we have an Inbody scale at home. And it's an awesome device, a little expensive. We do have a coupon code for it down below, but it gives you some really cool measurements, like your bone density and how much fat you have, what's your muscle weight. But we're always curious, how does that compare to a Dexa scan?
Yeah, because I'm never going to be able to have a Dexa scan in my house.
Right.
And I'm wondering, how off is it? Like, am I weighing, like, is there like a several pounds different between like one and the other? What about like, you know, the water retention and where is the fat going? Like, is the fat percentage like super different? So here is a very unique opportunity we have to do both on the same day, basically just like one block from the other,
right,
and see and compare the two together.
So what we're going to do is they're having the Dexa scans. They're over on the other side. They have some vans here. And by us, Dexa scans are very hard to find and very expensive. Well, here at KetoCon, they're offering them for just $39.
That's crazy.
So we're going to go over, we're going to get Dexa scans. Then we're going to come back over here and we're going to weigh ourselves in public.
Whew.
And we're going to do the Inbody scan and we're going to compare them to see how accurate, how off are they?
Now, I'm wondering if they will be okay with me just taking off all of my clothes and weighing, because, you know, I don't weigh with clothes on. So, I mean, isn't the thing like keep Austin weird? I have a feeling that I could keep Austin very weird if they let me weigh here like I weigh at home. Okay, so I got my scan done and I'm pretty excited about the results. Some of the information I kind of knew what they were going to tell me. Some new information, bone information was very interesting to me. But I'm going to go now and get an Inbody scan because that's what we have at home and I just kind of want to compare the results. Okay, I'm here with Taylor from Inbody. So we just got a Dexa scan, okay, which was awesome. The problem is, I do not have a mobile unit Dexa scan at my house.
You're right.
It's just, and I don't think most people do.
You're right.
So if I want to check in with what's going on in my body, I probably need something to use at home, which is where you guys come in. And we want to see kind of like, what is the difference? Like, what are we seeing, you know, as far as measurement goes? Is it close enough for me to enjoy this at home? So can you tell me a little bit about how an Inbody scale works?
Yeah, so a little bit of different technology than the Dexa. We use BIA, bioimpedance analysis. Essentially what it is compared to them is they're using radiology to get the answers. We're using a small microelectric current. Figures out the resistance of all of your muscle, your fat, your water.
Wow.
Gives us all the calculations. The best part about it, 30 to 45 seconds. All you have to do is stand up and it pushes everything into the app for you.
Okay, which is awesome. And
Yep.
then it's helping to interpret the information for me and also keep track of it. So after I got the Dexa scan, I have to sit down with somebody and they're kind of explaining to me like, this is what we're seeing and but this I can do at home, use the app and enjoy it on my own without having to have someone come in. Now I am expecting a little bit of difference because I am not allowed to get naked here publicly and weigh.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever weighed on a scale not naked, right?
Okay,
Right.
okay.
So we're gonna assume, I'm gonna assume at least, there's at least 10 pounds inside of this like Vince Camuto,
You know,
like outfit.
the coffee, the breakfast, it all plays a role.
Obviously. So I'm gonna jump on here and let's see what the results are.
Your
Okay.
results are printing out.
All right. I was watching that fat percentage go up like the Price is Right yodeling.
Yodeling.
Okay, so now that I have my results printed out, we're going to take the results and then we're going to compare them to the Dexa scan.
Exactly. So the biggest parts about the result sheet that you would really want to pull out is this muscle fat analysis section. Really everything you need to know. Weight, skeletal muscle mass, body fat mass.
Okay.
So we do have these values here that we'll have to compare to. I can even see that you are very much in that average range for your muscle mass and weight. So great job.
Average. Average.
Underneath that, we have BMI, percent body fat. The funny thing about Inbody is we put them right next to each other because we know BMI is that simple calculation, but percent body fat is a really much better indication of your health.
Okay.
Underneath that is segmental lean. It explains to you how much lean body mass you have in each limb. It helps me to understand imbalances and maybe injury risk. You can see that top number is your overall mass in pounds in each limb. And that bottom number is the sufficiency for that limb to hold your weight if I were to accidentally push you over onto your right arm.
Wow.
Yeah, so it looks like you are very balanced and very healthy to sustain any injury risk.
I would like to can you just say I'm very balanced again? Because I rarely get
Very, very balanced.
I am balanced.
So are you okay to do the numbers?
Yeah, let's
So
do the
pull
numbers.
Pull out.
So in the Dexa scan, scan says that I'm 160 pounds.
Okay.
This, the Inbody says that I am 159.4.
So which one are we buying?
I'm Inbody. We ain't buying that mobile unit. So but I like how close it is.
Exactly. Very comparable. According to the Mayo Clinic, 98% correlated to the Dexa, which is a gold standard.
I would actually say that it's probably perfectly accurate because between going to the Dexa scan and coming here, I peed. I did go to the restroom. So there is that. So, all right. Okay, so this is saying that my total body fat percentage from the Dexa scan is 37.9%. And over here, the Dexa scan is saying, Inbody rather, it's 32.2%. So it's still putting me in like an average range, which is exactly what the Dexa scan said, that I'm in like the average range for women my age. So that's accurate. The next thing is the
fat tissue.
The fat tissue, 60.8 pounds from the Dexa scan. This is saying 51.4 pounds. So again, we've got a different, way of measuring it, but we're still kind of in the ballpark. So I feel good about that. Now, what was interesting that came out in the Dexa scan, and I'm interested to see if it comes out in the Inbody, is my left and my right side are not exactly the same.
Okay.
So over here, it's saying that, what was it? It was my left leg and my right leg have nearly a pound of difference. My right leg and my left leg have nearly a pound of difference on this too. So that is showing.
Well, actually, let me pull this out. Let me double check. Dexa is saying at least a pound.
Oh, down here, yeah.
Down here? Oh, okay. We are from 17.1 to 17.3, so we're only seeing a 0.2 difference on our end.
Okay. But it is interesting that you're not exactly symmetrical.
True.
Right? And so, and that kind of helps to show me like, I may need to work out a little bit more on one leg, put a little bit more strength. Probably one thing that they suggested over there was, you drive with your right foot and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, a little bilateral movement. I mean, at the other time too, sometimes what we can see is a residual inflammation from you standing up. Some people do favor one side of their body when they're standing, and you've been on your feet for the last 3 days.
Now, this can measure bone density. Is this able to measure bone density?
The model that you were on today does not measure bone density. We do have higher models that do measure bone density, but the difference is we do measure body water.
Okay.
So we're very in tune with how body water also plays a role into body fat.
Which honestly is probably something that I would be more interested in taking a look at and have impact on a daily basis, right? Because that's something that a lot of us, like, how much water am I retaining? Like, I'm interested in that, on a daily basis. So that's very helpful. But you're saying that there is a way to have a bone density measurement if I'm willing to go to that model.
Exactly, just more of our clinical research model, that's all.
Okay. So does this give me like a percentile or something where I'm compared to other people in my age group or weight class?
That's probably the best part about it. Maybe a little bit different maybe from the Dexa. is we really try to get away from empirical estimations at Inbody. We don't want to put you into a box where you don't fit in.
Thank you.
Right? So really what we're comparing to for this average range is somebody else with your height and age. I'm not taking into consideration if you're a female or male.
Wow.
Or even if you're an athlete or non-athlete.
Okay.
From back in the old school, you know, you had to choose what kind of calculation that you would do by classifying somebody.
Mm-hmm.
We really want your body to speak as face value.
Yes.
And not to put you into a box just because maybe you are a certain demographic.
Yeah.
So we use only height and age.
Mm-hmm.
And we use that as your comparable values.
I really like that just because, you know, sometimes I can get really judgy on myself. And we always say that all the time, as you're, you know, traversing your keto journey, it's not really helpful for you to keep your eye on everybody else's lane. You're trying to drive in your own lane. So I can take this information and I'm going to compare it to myself, and it keeps a graph of that.
Yeah.
And I can chart my success and like where, you know, I'm going and get more dots, because I'm not going to get a Dexa scan as often as I'm going to weigh on my Inbody. And so maybe I'll see boop, boop, or boop, boop. But on an Inbody, I'm going to see like the overall every day. And really, if I'm interested in collecting data on myself, I want the most data points possible.
Exactly. You want the trends. You want to know, hey, if I tried this approach this week, or maybe this approach with this event, how did that reflect my body composition overall?
Yeah.
So really it's giving you those extra data points for you to understand how you're trending before the next time you can jump on a big device and have that one-on-one consultation with your health coach or health provider.
Yeah.
So you said it's 98%. How do you think that is as far as the accuracy? Because you had some things off.
Yeah. What do you do when you have like just a deviation in the accuracy? What do you think that you know, what do you think you should
So why do you say like this has a lot less fat than this?
Oh, I see. Okay, so I think what that comes down to, a little bit of the description really comes to the sensitivity that our device has with water, right? This is going to be more of that radioactive wave. So this is sensitive to water. So we do take small things into consideration given that. Kind of like typical weighing in. We want you to be fasted. We want you to be very first in the morning. We want you to be hydrated. Most
So
of
the
the time,
fact that she's had 3 or 4 cups of coffee
you
has
go, the
influenced
coffee.
it
that.
impacts it?
It definitely impacts it. Also the fact all of us have been on our feet for the last 3 days. Our muscles are probably holding on to water and some inflammation.
Wow.
So taking all of those small things into consideration, that's where we understand our technology and where we might see this discrepancy, but we know we're correlated. We know we're accurate.
Yeah.
And we know that we're comparable.
So now we have a lot of people, a lot of subscribers, you know, they do a lot of data collection, and the relationship with the scale can be kind of hard.
Yeah.
So as somebody who works in this industry, what do you recommend is a good time to weigh and a good frequency of getting yourself weighed?
Great question. First off, I'd say old school weigh-in method, right? First thing in the morning, maybe after you brush your teeth, we want you to stand up about at least 5 minutes. Like I said, water distribution really plays a role. So if you come straight out of bed, it could play with it. So I'd say wake up, brush your teeth, jump on the scale. Most of the time, our clients also do their blood pressure because we know morning hypertension is a thing.
Okay.
So we kind of do our whole checkup in the morning, check in on our app, and go about our day. Of course, it is per person how much they want to check in, but we recommend at least 2 to 4 weeks, just so you can see those changes and you don't get
So not every day.
discouraged. Exactly, not every day.
And not like 5 times a day.
No, because all you're gonna do is get discouraged, or you're gonna want changes, or you will see changes, which are normal changes throughout the day that might discourage you. So it's better just to every 2 to 4 weeks get your check-in, see how your progress is, and see that progress as you can.
That is really important. I hope that everybody's hearing that, because here's somebody that's in the industry, they have the scale, and they're saying only weigh every like 2 to 4 weeks, because it is a tool as part of your keto journey, not something to make decisions like all throughout the day, like, okay, I'm not going to drink anything and try to like move that needle a little bit, or, you know, I'm not going to eat or punish myself for 48 hours. Like, it's, you know, you want to use this tool, but you want to have a healthy relationship with it.
Okay, so one more question. Obviously, we can't afford that machine. So we have the home scale. What is the difference, and where can we get the home scale?
Yes. So really the big difference between that device that you'll see in your health provider's office and then the one that you'll bring home really comes down to the adaptability of the metrics. So when you get on that big device, you get your full paper. You get a full workup. Sometimes you have those questions that you just can't answer because you don't understand the data. So you need that health coach. Once I go home, jump on that H20 scale, it's going to give me all the metrics that I need to know.
Yeah.
It's going to give me the 6 metrics that I need to get to the next spot. Weight, body fat mass, skeletal muscle mass, percent body fat, BMI, BMR, which is different.
Yeah.
All of that in consideration. Hey, the accuracy is the same, the technology is the same. We're still using our core technology. The difference is you're tracking trends at home to get you to the next spot. So then you can go see your health provider and say, hey, maybe I want to make more changes. Or I haven't seen my muscle mass move in the last 4 weeks since I haven't seen you like I'd like. What can we do in the next 4 weeks before I see you that I'm making sure I'm on the right track? Because nobody likes to go 6 weeks down the road, come back to their trainer or their health provider and realize I haven't made any progress.
Right.
Exactly. You want to check in along the way.
So there is an app that goes with the Inbody scale. What do you think is the most underutilized part of that app? What would you like to see clients start taking a look at more? Because a lot of times we just get that number.
Yeah.
And that's where we fixate on. But what is another part of that app that could be beneficial if they'd utilize it?
I'm going to use myself as my example. Of course, we give you all the data you need. But for me, and I think maybe for general population, is we have a history graph. All that I need to look at is the graph and the trends. Is my muscle mass going up? Is my body fat mass going down from my last test?
Yeah.
Great job, Taylor. We did the right thing.
Wow.
So I would say it's really that history graph because I can do it from the very first time I jumped on an Inbody back in 2020 to now.
Yeah.
Or I can choose maybe the last 4 tests and see how my approach has been the last 4 weeks.
Yeah.
All on a graph. You can't go wrong. Is it going up? Is it going down? I think that's probably the most underutilized thing is because people want to look at every single result from every single test that they've done.
That's awesome.
Okay, we got all of the results. How do you feel?
I feel very empowered for the first time. And who would have thought that weighing publicly would actually help my relationship with the scale? But it does.
Yeah.
We learned by talking to these experts that these are really tools for my journey. It's basically going to give me opportunities to find out what are some areas of my body, not just the number, but areas of my body that I can work on. And I really appreciated hearing from a professional in the industry, how often should I weigh? What time of the day should I weigh? Instead of hopping up and down on the scale, 5 or 6 times a day, that's not really giving me the information that I need to make good decisions.
Yeah. So, and again, they weren't perfectly the same. There were some differences because it's different technology. And like she was saying with the Inbody, what you want to look at is trends. So it's nice to have that Inbody for, doing that on a weekly or bi-weekly basis. And then maybe once every 3 months, 6 months, going and getting the full Inbody scale or heading on over and trying to find a Dexa. But I like the fact that they were pretty close. And also, as she was saying, we've been on our feet for the last 3 days. Even when they did my Inbody. First of all, with my Inbody, I forgot to take off my belt. So they said that added probably about 5 pounds, not actual pounds, but as far as what it determines as fat, because it shows up as fat on which I thought that was interesting on the scan. But he said, you've got a lot of inflammation. You've been on your feet for 3 days. So I've got a lot of water buildup around my ankle, especially because I have all of my injuries. So that's something to take into account. But overall, I'm pretty impressed with it.
Me too.
Now for the Inbody scale, again, we don't have that big scale, but you can get the little one. I'll leave a link for it down below. And we do have a discount code. It's 2 Krazy Ketos. All that information is going to be down below. Now, if you like seeing videos like this, take a look at some of the videos we have linked right over here. Also, make sure you take a look at the most recent video that I'm going to put right over there.
But whether you head this way or you head this way, don't forget to head this way. Subscribe to our channel and click the little bell icon. And that way, every single time I weigh in public, you'll be alerted to it.
Until next time.
Bye.